Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport. We are also here with some of our PSs. In particular, present today is the Principal Secretary for Interior and National Administration, Dr. Raymond Omolo. We also have with us the Principal Secretary for Roads, Engineer Joseph Mbogwa. We also have the Principal Secretary for Transport, Mr. Mohamed Dagar. We have with us the Director General of the National Transport and Safety Authority, Mr. George Njau. We also have other senior officials from our two ministries, including the Regional Commissioner for Nairobi and other senior officers present from the two ministries. I'll proceed to make a few remarks. Thereafter, we will start first with the CS for Roads and Transport, the Honorable Murkomen, making a few remarks on road safety issues. Thereafter, I'll make a few remarks on enforcement of traffic laws and other enforcement matters during these celebrations. And thereafter, both myself and Minister Murkomen will take one or two questions, and we will finish before 9 o'clock. It is now my pleasure and privilege to invite the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport, to make his remarks. Welcome, Minister.
Thank you very much, CS Professor Kindiki, for not only hosting us, but also for that introduction. We are here to demonstrate to the country that on the matter of road safety, like all other matters in this republic, we take a joint government approach. And joint government approach means that all government agencies responsible for delivery of services in any sector should be able to work together. And that's the reason why the Ministry of Roads and Transport and the Ministry of Interior are here together to demonstrate that we take responsibility collectively and we act collectively. My colleague, Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki, CS of Interior, Principal Secretary is present, members of the Fourth Estate who are here, ladies and gentlemen. As the holiday season begins, motorists will be traveling to various destinations to celebrate the festives with their families and friends. It is imperative for all road users to observe road traffic rules and reduce road carnage, which has in the past been rampant during this season. From the analysis of past reports, a high number of road carnage results from avoidable human factors, including driving under influence of alcohol, speeding, dangerous overtaking, fatigue, and ignoring traffic lights and signs, among others. And to demonstrate that very important fact, I actually want to read for you the statistics that will be shared with you together with this press statement. But just for Kenyans to appreciate, the statistics are very, very clear. When we tell people that accidents are avoidable, I want to read for you for the fatalities for this year, how it is distributed. For losing control, we lost 27 people. For overtaking improperly, 14 people died. And I'm saying only December. I'm not talking about the entire period. For failing to keep to near side to proper traffic lane, we lost 13 people, December. For excessive speed, we lost 12 people. For misjudging clearance, we lost 7 people. For crossing without consideration of junctions, 5 people. So all these, the so-called accidents, all of them, like we've said in our statement, would have been avoided. An analysis of NTSA shows 3% increase in road carnage as at 15th November this year, with fatalities standing 4,432 compared to 4,271 during the same period last year. This is the highest death toll the country has ever registered since independence. And again, to read for you just statistics that will be shared with you, is for you to just take consideration that we have lost 4,449 people. Actually, 4,449 as at December. That was November. What I read was November. And if you see the statistics, pedestrians who are crossing road are 1,595. You have drivers who are 403. And these are the ladies and gentlemen we depend on to protect the others, because these mistakes that would have been avoided is largely because of the drivers. You have passengers in vehicles, there are 793. You have motorcycle passengers, 411. But listen to this. We have lost 1,190 motorcycle riders. 1,190. This is really very, very, very painful even to read, to see how we are losing people. We've lost actually 1 year the number of people more than the ones we lost in the entire period of COVID, through accident. And this is very painful just even to read as a government minister. The government has stepped up efforts to reduce this by adopting a multi-pronged strategy that entails public awareness and enforcement. We are working with citizens to promote personal responsibility by encouraging passengers in both private and public vehicles to speak out against reckless driving and other habits that endanger the lives of Kenyans. Indeed, we have said we are not helpless as Kenyans. Passengers should not act like they are helpless. You can do something. If you board a motor vehicle and the driver is drunk, you have a duty to either alight from that vehicle or to tell the owners of the motor vehicle to change the driver. If you are in a motor vehicle and in for 2-3 kilometers, the driver is committing traffic offenses, you have a right to either stop him jointly together as passengers and report him to the police, or alight from the vehicle. We shouldn't feel like we're helpless, because the statistics we've read show that 90% of the deaths and the accidents we have are as a result of direct human error. As we launch the 2022 December Festive Enforcement Initiative, we take cognizance of the following. A high number of road crashes occur at night due to poor visibility. In this regard, we urge motorists, especially those driving heavy commercial vehicles and public service vehicles operating at night, to implement measures that will enhance visibility. This includes proper positioning of signage like triangles, chevrons, and recta reflective. Additionally, motor vehicle owners must move with speed to remove stalled vehicles within 1 hour of an incident and ensure proper signs are placed at safe distance on the road to warn approaching motorists. I have instructed Kenya National Highways Authority, Kenya Urban Roads Authority, and Kenya Rural Roads Authority to heighten surveillance on our roads and ensure that all stalled vehicles are towed immediately, but not more than 1 hour, to enable smooth flow of traffic. I have further directed Kena and Kura, which is the Kenya National Highway and Kenya Urban Roads, to ensure vehicles passing through way bridges are roadworthy as per the requirement of Traffic Act. Cases of non-compliance must be reported to the law enforcement. Number 2, motor vehicle owners and PSV operators have often seen the festive season as a time to maximize on profit, occasioning the stretching of operations in total disregard for passenger safety. Drivers have often been overworked and servicing of vehicles overlooked in the name of minimizing operational cost. Private motor vehicle owners, heavy commercial vehicle owners, and PSV circles should ensure drivers are well rested and vehicles are well serviced before taking to the roads. Instead of overworking one driver, this is the right season to employ an extra driver. Mental health concerns in the public transport sector must also be taken into consideration. Government health facilities are open to any motorist battling depression, stress, and other mental illness. I have also directed the NTSA to intensify the Usalama Barabarani program, an awareness campaign to effect positive behavior change among road users. The authority is already engaging PSV circles on the well-being of drivers and ensure they are sensitizing on their role in preventing road carnage. Further, NTSA should issue a road safety compliance checklist for members of the public and PSV sector players to keep them in know on what is expected of them. To this end, I urge members of the public to report incidences of lawlessness and reckless driving to the police through the hotline 911. Remember, usalama barabarani ni jukumu letu sote. Let us all work together to keep our roads safe. I wish you Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2023. Asante sana. Thank you. Welcome back, Waziri.
Thank you very much, Minister Murkomen. I would also want to make a few remarks relating to the subject matter, but with particular emphasis on enforcement of the law during this season. The holiday season that has already or is about to begin traditionally brings a surge in the number of vehicles on our roads across the country, as more and more Kenyans and their loved ones travel from places of work or stations of day-to-day occupation to join their families, relatives, and friends, or to take a much-deserved holiday. We are bound to see travelers on the go, and therefore more and more vehicles on our roads. Regrettably, the festive season also tends to witness a sharp rise in the number of road accidents, resulting in many injuries and loss of lives. There is a manifest correlation between the increase in the incidences of recorded accidents and the higher number of vehicles on our roads around this time of the year. But the high number of accidents also point to human error and the merrymaking and other indulgences typical of the festive season as major contributors to this notable spike. Our records over the years and investigations that have followed many of these accidents yield overwhelming evidence that many of these accidents are and can be preventable. This is achievable if our road users practice more fidelity to sensible road mannerisms on our roads, observing traffic regulations and a stricter enforcement of and compliance with the relevant traffic rules. During this festive season, I have directed the police to crack down heavily and without exceptions all those found flouting our traffic rules. I have given the Inspector General of Police my personal assurances and those of the Government of the Republic of Kenya that we will provide its officers with the necessary support to enforce the safety of every Kenyan on our roads, and a deliberate campaign targeting the reduction of our unacceptable high road fatalities, as the Minister for Roads and Transport has read out to us just now. We expect 100% compliance with all the rules and regulations governing movement on our roads. These rules must be observed in their entirety by all people, irrespective of rank or other classification. Today, we are therefore launching a road safety initiative that will be conducted beginning immediately and without fail on all our main roads across the country. Specifically, this operation will crack down on the following traffic offenses: speeding, overloading of goods and excess passengers, contravening of licensed public service vehicle routes, night operation without a valid night travel license, operating a PSV without valid licenses, operating vehicles without valid inspection, installation of unlawful lights on motor vehicles, drink driving, delayed removal of stored vehicles, and any other traffic infringements. Further, I have directed the police to work closely with the National Transport and Safety Authority and other state agencies to ensure the effective implementation of this exercise. It is our expectation that those who will find themselves on the wrong side of the law during this campaign will not only be arrested, but they will be subjected to the due process of punishment, including instant fines where applicable, and eventually prosecution. I urge all Kenyans to exercise vigilance on our roads and to play their respective roles in ensuring all of us get to our destinations safe and sound. Other than enforcement of traffic laws across our roads, I also want to note that it is during this time of the year that many of our citizens go into merrymaking. And I want just to highlight two issues that we are very concerned about, and we will be very vigilant to ensure that we rein on these two issues which are related to the season that we are getting into. The first one is indulgence in alcohol. While the drinking of alcohol is not illegal, we are aware many unscrupulous vendors and stockists of alcohol use this opportunity to make a killing, to make profits by selling adulterated, illicit, and dangerous drinks in the name of alcohol. We want to serve notice on the profiteers who have consistently preyed on the merrymaking season to sell dangerous drinks and illicit alcoholic drinks, that we will be on your case, and the harm that you're causing to the country is equivalent to the harm that every other criminal is causing to our country. I say no more on that. Finally, during this season, we also note that the merrymaking has in many instances also led to the exploitation of children, including sexual violation. Therefore, I have directed all the national government administrative officers, regional commissioners, county commissioners, deputy county commissioners, assistant county commissioners, chiefs, assistant chiefs, and Nyumba Kumi officials to make sure that they go out of their way to make sure that during this season, we do not have our children abused through sexual exploitation, but also, as it happens oftentimes, our children are not abused through exposure to alcohol and drugs. Finally, to reiterate what the Cabinet Secretary for Roads and Transport has said, that the government takes road safety and enforcement of the law collectively and jointly. And this statement, especially by the two ministries here, is done collectively on behalf of government and on behalf of even other ministries which are not represented here. I therefore take this opportunity to wish all the citizens of Kenya and all visitors to our beautiful country happy holidays and a fruitful, blessed, and prosperous 2023, just days ahead. Thank you very much. If any of you, ladies and gentlemen, have a question or two between Minister Murkomen and I, we can answer them, but as I said, we need to finish by 9. Thank you. God bless you, and thank you for coming